Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to finish off your mastectomy pillow. So in the previous video I showed you how to cut out your pieces. So we cut out 2 of the heart-shaped pieces for the body, and then we also cut out our piece for the strap. I also showed you how to sew that. We are now ready to flip, stuff, and sew closed. So what I'm going to do first is take my shears, and if there's any little threads that need cutting, cut those now. It'll just make everything neater and more finished looking in the end. So I'm now going to find my opening, and I'm going to flip carefully my mastectomy pillow right side out. There's my strap. Here are my curved edges. And here is what my mastectomy pillow looks like at this point now. I'm now going to pause the video and stuff it up. Make sure you stuff nice and carefully. You don't want to accidentally rip your stitching. So you're going to grab some polyfill, find your opening, and gently shove that polyfill into that opening until your mastectomy pillow is nice and full. Once your mastectomy pillow is all nice and stuffed up and ready to go, we're going to sew this little piece together here. So the first thing you're going to want to do, you can always get a friend to help you with this, is you're going to make sure your raw edges are tucked inside, and you're going to hold this piece together and pin it closed first. That'll make sewing it easier. So I stick a pin through and out. Again, all we're doing is holding that together as we sew along that piece there. So now what I'm going to do is find a color of thread that matches this fabric the best that I can, and I'm going to hand sew this closed with an overcast stitch. So I'm going to pause the video and thread my needle, and then I'll show you how we're going to finish this off. I found this pink thread, and in order to sew this together, you're going to get approximately 1 arm's length of thread. You're going to get the thread through the eye of the needle and match up your end pieces. So here are my end pieces. I'm going to bring those together, and I'm going to make a big ugly knot. So I pinch those 2 ends, and I wrap it around my finger once, twice, 3 times, and I rub my fingers together until that thread will roll off into a loop. I pull the loop, and now it creates a big ugly knot. This knot is going to be on the inside of my pillow, and my needle is double threaded, and I have plenty of thread to finish this off. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my opening here, and I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to kind of treat this like it's a mouth. So I'm going to dive inside the mouth and come out. And my big ugly knot is going to be hidden away inside. I don't want to see that. No big ugly knots on the outside of your pillows. So now what I'm going to do is my overcast stitch. I go through the top edge, I pull nice and tight, and I come up and over, and I enter in the same side. Pull tight, up and over. Go through, pull tight, up and over. Now we're going to take our time on this step. We want it to be nice and neat. We are making these for cancer patients after all. So we're going to have small stitches that are close together, and we want to put some care and time into this. I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll show you what I do when I get to the end. At this point, I have sewn the entire opening all the way closed. I'm now ready to throw a couple of anchor stitches in here. So what I'm going to do to anchor this off, I go underneath where my last stitch is. I bring my needle through, and I'm going to bring my needle through this loop of thread and pull nice and tight. That literally just puts a little knot right there. I'm going to do this a minimum of 2 to 3 times. I recommend 3. So again, underneath my last stitch, pull the needle, put it through the loop, and pull nice and tight. That's number 2. And now I'm going to do one final through the loop, pull nice and tight. Okay. Now at this point, if you want to, you can cut your thread right there. Just be careful not to cut it too close to the knot. One thing that I like to do at this step though is take my needle and actually dive back into my pillow and bring the needle out the side. This will allow the tails of my thread to get trapped inside the fabric. So now I take my shears and I just cut very carefully, making sure I don't actually cut the fabric. And now the tails from my thread are trapped inside the pillow and I'll never see them again. So at this point, we have finished our mastectomy pillow. It's all ready to be donated. My stitching is nice and small along the side. It has a strap, so if they want to hang this up somewhere, and this would just sit underneath the person's arm after they had surgery and help them feel a little bit more comfortable in that area. I hope you enjoy making these. I know the people that receive them are going to be super appreciative and grateful.